Hello, once again. It is time to take a look at what is happening in the world of agriculture with these markets. I'm Susan Littlefield, and joining me today is going to be Brian Splitt. Brian is with agmarket.net, and it's okay to kind of come back off a holiday and start to push some possible new highs happening in the trade. And it looks like, Brian, we're seeing that right now as you look at this corn complex.
We are, and this is several weekends in a row, Susan, where we've kind of come out of the weekend with lower trade. At least this week, we didn't have concerns about tariffs or trade policy. It was more just some slight improvements in South American weather. But, between the overnight lows and where the market's trading here midday, we've got some good action. Corn is making new highs for the particular move in both old and new crop. We've got a high on the day for March corn at 502. So I think right now the key thing that this market's trying to work itself up to in corn are the highs that we made in 2024. So those were made in May. And on the March contract, that was 508 and a quarter. For July, it was 520. So there can be some very key resistance areas, such that, for a yearly high, it's not likely that you just go look at it and blast right through it. More often you'll test it, pull back and get another running start at it before trying to work through those highs. Beans saw a little bit more selling last night on the slight improvements in South American weather. But they've since have turned higher as well. And as long as old crop beans can continue to be supported at the 100-day moving average, I think that shows fund interest in maintaining length there, even though they did trim it a little bit last week. And wheat funds are still very short wheat. Even with the recent buying that we've seen, we can continue to see additional short covering there. And I think a test of the fall highs are likely in order there.
And from a livestock perspective, bitterly cold temperatures are seen throughout the regions. How do you see that weighing in, or is it going to weigh in on the markets?
Initially this morning, we did have selling in live cattle, yet the feeder cattle market did not seem to be too interested in selling off. I think we knew the cold temperatures were coming, so any strength that was going to come from that would likely come from the forecast of it. Now the market's going to be looking ahead to temperatures moderating, and we're probably going to see, in our area, which this is not cattle country, obviously, but we're going to see temperatures improve by 50 degrees over the next week and a half or so. So I think the idea of that affecting the marketplace in the futures is probably come and gone.
All right, sounds good. By the way, you can catch the full conversation as Brian and I will be speaking later today during the channel Final Bell. Check it out. If you miss it live, it's on the podcast at ruralradionetwork.com. I'm Susan Littlefield on the Rural Radio Network.